Welcome to our channel JourneY. If we talk about the greatest rulers of Islam, and if Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi is not mentioned in it, then it is not possible, who had taken back Jerusalem from the Christians. In today's video, we will know the whole story of Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi, whose name is the story of Salahuddin. Friends, Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi is one of the greatest warriors in the world. Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi was born in 1138 in Tikrit. At that time, his father was the ruler of Nazmuddin Tikrit. Friends, Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi learned all the war skills from his father. Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi was a very smart person who liked peace, and he never wanted to fight. But Salahuddin Ayyubi's life took a turn when he went to Egypt with his uncle and fought with the enemies there. After his uncle's death, Salahuddin Ayyubi became the commander of Egypt, that is, the minister. Salahuddin Ayyubi never stayed in big palaces. He lived in a small house near the mosque. Salahuddin Ayyubi fought many wars in his life and conquered them. He faced the Crusaders with great bravery for almost 20 years and forced him to give up. He faced all the powers of Europe at once, the power that had come to tear Jerusalem from the Muslims. Friends, historical Crusaders are considered one of the longest wars in history. Along with that, there was also that war in which a lot of blood was shed. After a lot of efforts, the Christians took over Jerusalem again. I have taken the name of Crusaders so many times. You must be wondering what Crusaders were. Friends, Crusaders mean the fight of religion. This war was fought for only one city, which is Jerusalem, which has an important place in the three religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. It is the place for Christians where Jesus spread his religion. This place is important for Muslims because our Prophet Muhammad went on a journey to Miraj from this city. July 15th, 1099 was a dark day in the history of Islam, because after 462 years of conquering the Jerusalem of Hazrat Umar, Jerusalem was once again under the control of the Christians. This day, so much oppression on the Muslims that it cannot even be described. This day, almost 70,000 Muslims were martyred. There was so much blood on the roads that the horses were not able to walk. They were slipping. Many mosques in the city were broken. Not only Muslims, Christians were also harmed by this. Those Christians whose culture was Greek, Georgian, Armenian. The culture of the Catholic Church was being trampled on them. After hearing this news that the third sacred place of Muslims has left the hands of Muslims, he surprised many Muslims all over the world. Now the Catholic Church did not have the strength to face the Crusaders. In addition to Jerusalem, the Crusaders took control of many other cities. Near the Mediterranean coast, 4 Crusader kingdoms established their government, but these Crusaders faced the Seljuks. The Seljuks forced the Crusaders to retreat. The Seljuks were very dangerous. The Seljuks destroyed the Crusaders very badly, and God knows how many Crusader soldiers were killed in this. After this, in our story, Salahuddin Ayyubi comes. He was a very smart and brave person from childhood. He got his education from the best Islamic scholars of his time. If seen in the beginning, Salahuddin Ayyubi's mind was more interested in Islamic studies and studies. But he was not interested in Islamic studies. Salahuddin Ayyubi's uncle sent him to Egypt. At that time, Salahuddin Ayyubi was very young. When Salahuddin Ayyubi took over the position of minister in Egypt in 1179, his religious teachings greatly influenced his government policies. But a person who did not like the growing power of Salahuddin Ayyubi was Nur al-Din. He was in Syria. The people of Egypt and Syria felt that war was decided between them, but that did not happen. And in 1174 the war broke out. After this, Salahuddin Ayyubi's government was established in Egypt and Syria. Salahuddin Ayyubi unified the land of the Muslims, and the Jerusalem of Crusaders was surrounded by a strong Islamic state. In 1170 and 1180, the entire Muslim world was united, and the Christians were divided in the same way as in 1099, when all the Christians were united and the Muslims were not. But Salahuddin Ayyubi did not want to fight. Salahuddin Ayyubi did not want to fight. After the decision of 150 miles of sea, Sultan fought against them and caused them great loss. After this, the ruler Richard agreed for the treaty. Sultan agreed, and in 1192 a treaty was signed and all Crusaders were expelled from Jerusalem. For these, Maulana Tariq Zamir said that the people whose children will make music and dance, The people who will make music and dance from that people will not be born. Khalid bin Walid will not be born. Muhammad bin Qasim will not be born. Tariq bin Ziyad will not be born. Salahuddin Ayyubi will not be born, who alone will face the whole of Europe. You know that in this battle of Hattin, almost 7 kingdoms came against Salahuddin Ayyubi. The whole of Europe was on one side. The whole of Europe was against him, and Salahuddin was the only one here. Despite this, he defeated a group of Europeans. Ronald was a king who attacked the infidels who were going to Hajj and imprisoned the Hajis. And he said to his Muhammad, so when the Battle of Hattin took place, the great kings were imprisoned by the Muslims, in which there was also Ronald. Approximately 12 kings were imprisoned, and everyone was suffering from the siddhas of the onions. Salahuddin Ayyubi gave water to everyone. He did not give water to Ronald. So one of them, who was the ruler, saved some water from his own and gave it to Ronald. So Salahuddin Ayyubi said that you are giving this water. I am not giving it to you. Because when you give water to Islam, it is a sign of peace. Ronald was invited to Islam, but he refused. So Salahuddin Ayyubi said, I swore when you attacked the infidels on Kafla and told you to call your Muhammad, so I swore that if Allah gave me a chance, I would blow your head off with my own hands. Today Muhammad's slave is going to blow your head off. And Salahuddin Ayyubi blew his head off. So when the other kings started to give water, Salahuddin Ayyubi said that we do not have Islam. In Islam, kings are treated like kings. But this had gone beyond its limits. And these words of Salahuddin Ayyubi, that if you want to destroy a nation without war, then make Ayyashi common among the youth of that nation, and that nation will be destroyed without war. You pay attention. Until Muslims have ruled on the path of religion. Until then they have ruled with pride. But then, after that, Muslims drowned in Ayyashis. Allah gave power to the Arabs to rule because the Prophet Muhammad was one of them. But then the Arabs drowned in Ayyashis and destroyed their own power. At that time, Jerusalem was in the hands of the Arabs. The Arabs did not have enough power to take it back. Salahuddin Ayyubi brought it back. And then after them, the Turks took control. Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi was a sultan, but everyone knows how he spent his life. He saw great hardships. He fought great battles in his life. And today Jerusalem is waiting for Salahuddin Ayyubi. Sultan Salahuddin Ayyubi's bravery can be understood by the fact that in the Battle of Hattin, 8 sultanates came together, and Sultan Salahuddin was alone. Despite this, Salahuddin Ayyubi defeated them all, and he was so merciful that he left everyone. Anyone can come and worship in Jerusalem. Anyone can come and live. This was Salahuddin Ayyubi's mercy. And with this, our video ends. I hope you liked it. See you in some other video.